Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. It's Mondays with Mallory with KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's John Mallory. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, here's Johnny Ballgame and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Monday, Bronco Nation. Welcome on in. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. It's Monday. That means John Mallory is with us. KTIK 95.3 The Ticket. You hear Johnny Ballgame, Prater, Bob, JP, the whole crew every weekday from 3 to 6. And they'll have plenty to talk about today on Idaho Sports Talk as we do here for the next 30 minutes or so. Johnny's still riding high from that Seahawks win yesterday. He's feeling good, and he took a shower, it looks like. He's ready to go here on a Monday morning. How we doing, Johnny?
Yeah, long weekend, man, but a great weekend, right, for football. It's back in full. NFL, college, high school, everything's just fitting right now into the perfect place, and it does, however, make for some long weekends, BJ. I was up at 6:15 on Saturday, getting ready for the Boise State game. And then obviously, I stayed up for the entire Rocky Mountain Showdown like a lot of folks did in America. Went to bed about 2 or 3 hours on Saturday after I wanted to. So long weekend, but eventful weekend. Great weekend, man. Good to start it off with you on Mondays, as we always do here on BNN Live. Let's get after it, pal.
Yeah, man, Coach Prime, man. I give I'll quickly say this, man. I give Jay Norvell and Colorado State a lot of credit, man. Everybody thought they were going to come in and just get rolled over by 30, 40 points, and all the talk all weekend was Coach Prime. And I know Colorado got the win. Good for them, but I thought Colorado State more than held their own, more than lived up to their end of the bargain. If your coach is going to say something like that, 23-point favorites or underdogs. They're underdogs by 23. Colorado was the favorite by 23.5, whatever it was. For them to have the lead like that, to basically be in a position to win the game, where you can probably say they should have won that game. You know what? Like, hats off to Colorado State, man. I loved every part of that. It did look like the coaches had somewhat of a cordial handshake there at the end of the game. I was, they were punking Colorado, man. I loved every bit of it. I know they didn't win, but for me, it was as close as a win as without it actually being a win as you can get in a situation like that.
A couple of moves, like, gosh, had they went for it on a 4th and 2 where they could have just iced it. You think if you're Jay Norvell, you roll those dice. They didn't. It came back to haunt them. But my question's leaving the game. I'm with you on Colorado State. Who the heck is this quarterback they found? A redshirt freshman. Kid can play. 2 wide receivers. We know about Horton. The other kid is a big brick outhouse as well. He moves. He creates space. In the defense, BJ, they had a more impressive front four than Colorado did. I was really impressed with some of my takeaways on the roster at Colorado State. I had already taken them out to pasture for this season after that Washington State loss. They had a weird week 2 bye week. Nobody has week 2 bye week. So that was only their second game of the season a couple of nights ago. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah. you hate the whole, hey, we played really well, we almost had them line, but sometimes there is something to hang your hat on in that case, and I think that was the case for Colorado State. Really impressed with the way they played. Now, are they going to be able to get up like that for New Mexico and Nevada and some of these other games? We'll see, but they got some dudes on there, no question.
Tequila Gus asking how many cutwaters were consumed during the Nevada game. Yeah, it didn't go as planned, Johnny. 28-point favorites. I guess that means Idaho is better than the Jayhawks. They beat Nevada in Reno by a bigger margin. But you know, every game is not perfect. We won't look back in a month and go, man, they only beat Nevada by 7. We're going to say they won the game. So we'll take it and move on. 3-0. But yeah, it was not the prettiest game that I've seen KU play in a while. But as you know, man, Mackey Stadium can be a little weird. Weird stuff happens there, I guess. But no, I was not. I was happy they got the win. Not happy with how they played. And now you've got Rock Chalk Jayhawk welcoming BYU to the Big 12 this week. BYU's Big 12 opener in Lawrence, Kansas. Looking forward to watching that on Saturday. And the other thing I will mention before we get into the Boise State talk here, somebody said, how much was I sweating that Giants-Cardinals game? Yes, Team Bronco Nation News advancing in the $9 million Survivor Circa Sports Survivor contest, Johnny. We went for the second straight week against Jordan K's Arizona Cardinals. Did not look good for a good chunk of the game yesterday. A historic comeback by the New York Giants, and the drive for free subscription refunds for all and a raise for John Mallory stays alive, with Bronco Nation News still alive for the $9 million at Circa Sports, thanks to the New York Giants. What a second half that was.
I had the Giants in my Survivor pool this week too, so I'm with you. Mine's not nearly as magnificent as yours. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow isn't as rich, but you still want to survive in advance. Yeah, I went with the Giants too.
$9.2 million is the Circa Sports first place prize, and winner take all. So Circa Sports, appreciate them. When we're in Colorado in a couple weeks, we'll be telling you more about the lines they have in the Circa Sports app in Colorado. They're opening up the Chicago Circa Sports. Chicago starts next week, I believe. They're expanding to different states, Kentucky as well. So we appreciate Derek Stevens, everybody down at Circa Sports. And as part of our sponsorship with them, we entered both the pools mostly for fun and to talk about them. We're probably not actually going to win, but we made it to week 3. Johnny, who's your early survivor for week 3 here? Have you looked at it?
I have not looked at it yet, BJ. Don't even ask, man. Don't even ask. No, I have no idea.
Maybe Jacksonville Jaguars. They're playing the Texans. Maybe the Chiefs this week against the Chiefs against the Bears. There's a couple of possibilities out there, so we'll tell you more about.
Chiefs Bears looks good. Chiefs Bears looks good.
Probably it'll be Chiefs Bears, but get your comments in, get your questions in, your thoughts. What did you make of Boise State's 42-18 win over North Dakota? The Broncos improving to 1-2 on the season, and we're going to talk about that game. Take your questions and comments in just a second, but we are broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Johnny's downtown there in the rowpaint.com studios at KTIK. Rowpaint.com, their concrete coatings 5 times stronger than epoxy. They can do it in one day. Check them out at rowpaint.com, but they can also take care of all your industrial, commercial, residential painting needs. So check them out. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The best in mobile eBranch online banking. Check them out. If you're looking for a new bank, or even if you don't think your bank could do anything better for you, I highly recommend making the switch. ICCU.com. You can transfer money, move things around. You go into the branch one time to sign up your account, and you literally never have to go back. Everything can be done mobilely from your phone. Check them out. ICCU.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. 13 locations across the state of Idaho and surrounding states. They've got like 30 or plus places that they own and operate. So Ridley's Family Markets, check them out. Shop Ridley's.com. And if you download their smartphone, you get app, you get savings up to 40%. And of course, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. No home is too big or too small for Matt Bauscher and his team at Bauscher Real Estate. Make sure you check them out, part of the Amherst Madison Real Estate Advisors Group. And we appreciate our friend Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. All right, Johnny, 42-18, the final. Boise State taking down North Dakota. What was more encouraging to you, the 42 points and scoring some touchdowns on offense, or the defense, again, holding the team to under 20 and taking a pretty good attack offensively from North Dakota, really shutting it down?
I'd probably go with the offense. This team, I figured this season would hang its hat on that offense. There was more experience. There was more, obviously, returning experience. I thought that was the overall more talented side of the ball. So I'll stick with the offense. I thought the defense did what it had to do, though. Offensively, I wanted to see long, sustained drives with third downs picked up. You saw that. Boise State was 10 of 14 on third down. I mean, that is absolutely terrific. You're going to take that any single game versus any single opponent. 10 for 14. Keep the chains moving. Get in a rhythm. Bush's offense, he said it. It's based on a rhythm. Talon Green has said it. They want to find this rhythm where they're upping tempo. Guys are coming in. They're running their, I mean, that's what they do in practice when it works. And that hasn't been translating to the game. So we saw some long, sustained drives, BJ. Talon Green wanted to see that completion percentage go up. It did. The one interception was alarming. The other two were very alarming that weren't intercepted because those were in the two worst places of the field. The first one was essentially dropped in the end zone, and the second one was dropped inside when Talon was inside.
Oh, that had 6-6 written all over it.
Yeah, so they're the worst parts of real estate on the field where you would want to throw an interception. And the only reason he didn't is because, you know, defensive guys can't catch. So, yeah, good for Talon there. But all things else, he ran the ball. I wanted to see that. I didn't care the receiver. Somebody have a big game. And what McAllister did, what, a $140 something through the air, however.
6 catches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns.
2 teeters, man. I wanted to see that play. I wanted to see stars be stars. The red zone. They were good in the red zone. Hell, even Maddox Madsen came in and looked like he can continue to play at this level. So, yeah, I would start with the offense there. I thought they checked a lot of boxes. I know who the opponent is, too. I get it. There's nothing more you can do. That's who was coming there. Do what you need to do against the opponents on your schedule, and I thought the offense did that. So, yeah, 42 points is nice.
And, we actually on Monday guessed we were happy, found a happy number we were both all cool with on Ball Talk. We made the imaginary spread 20.5. And then when they came out with the actual line, it was only about 14.5, 15. So we were a little high, but even the bigger spread of 20.5, as you predicted on Ball Talk, you went 3-1, by the way. We'll save the trash talking for tonight. But they covered. They won by 24. I mean, I don't know what we talked about it going into the week, Johnny. What has to happen for Boise State fans to feel good about this game? And I thought it was one of those games where there was some good. It looked better than it had the last 2 games, but certainly that's not an effort that you're going to win, every Mountain West game against if you play like that. There was still some areas. You mentioned Talon Green. The overall numbers are fine because he got extremely lucky there. The defense still gave up a couple big plays, still gave up a big third down conversion. I think even a 4th down conversion at some point. It's not perfect yet, Johnny, but at least they get some confidence. And now they go back out on the road for back-to-back weeks here, which we've talked about. And I will just throw this in there, Johnny. The 3 teams Boise State have played, none of them have lost a game other than North Dakota losing to Boise State. Those 3 teams are 8-1 combined on the season right now. So, we'll find out as we go here, especially with UCF and Washington. Are those 2 teams just really, really, really good? Or is Boise State, a team that's going to have some games like this where they're not playing perfect and just having to find a way to will themselves to a win some of these weeks? But, 1 and 2 road games coming up this week, Johnny, or starting this week.
This is kind of where you can flip the season, right? If you win these next 2, and I know Bronco Nation probably doesn't want to even talk about Memphis yet, and I get it, but if you win these next 2, you're 3-2 going into the rest of the season, which is all conference play, and then all of a sudden you start to see, okay, well, what can this team be? Now, Jordan Kay said it, on the BNN postgame show I caught after I got home off the KBOI postgame show, BJ, and Jordan said he questions, is this team legit? He still doesn't know, and I respect that, but I think we'll know a heck of a lot more as to how legit they might be after these two games. San Diego State is struggling where they always seem to struggle. I can't wait to talk about that stadium this week. That's a Friday night game. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in San Diego. It'd be nice after a beautiful September Friday night off of work, head on down to Snapdragon and watch Boise State, who is the most marketable team in the Mountain West, come to your venue. Boise State has yet to play at this venue. I don't see, the sun is not going to be, BJ, beaming on this on the upper deck, which is the biggest excuse. I don't know why this wouldn't have 25,000+ people in that beautiful stadium, in that beautiful town, with this rivalry in the Mountain West. I can't wait to talk about it all week and see kind of what it's going to feel like. But yeah, Boise State needs to get back in the win column. A loss here, man, it's just going to further kind of the narrative that this just isn't the way that it was and it will never be back. And they've made a lot of poor decisions in terms of maybe coaching and personnel. It's just going to be, that narrative. If they win, though, okay, let's go beat Memphis. Memphis hasn't looked great there this season either. They have their own attendance issues, too, in the beautiful Liberty Bowl. So these 2 weeks, BJ, utmost importance for this program.
I'm going to go 3 weeks. I'm going to throw in the San Jose State game back at home after the Memphis game. I think San Jose State is one of the teams people see in the Mountain West that could give Boise State a challenge. I know you're a big Cordero fan at quarterback. I think that I'm going to go 3. If you can find a way to win the next 3 weeks, you get to 4-2. You'd be 2-0 in Mountain West play, and then maybe even throw in the Colorado State road game after that, and then you have your bye week. If you can get that 4-game stretch, get back to 5-2 at the bye week. I think that all of a sudden all would be right, with this team because I think that they have a lot of winnable games. New Mexico, Wyoming, Utah State. They've got a lot of winnable games, and we saw what Air Force did on Friday night to Utah State, and that's a Utah State team that put up 70-something points against Idaho State. So I think this is a huge stretch. We talked about it all year, all summer. That first 5 games, what's it going to be? 3-2, 4-1, 1-4, 2-3, and they've still got a chance to get it to 3-2. And in terms of getting the momentum rolling, it is what it is. But I like that Nate Staley says here he likes that it's San Diego State. No good blood between these two teams. I see a big wake up this week. What'd you make of the 8-point spread when you saw that come out, Johnny?
I shook my head a little bit and gave it a little bit of thought, but then again, the whole point of a point spread is for the odds makers to get even money bet on both sides of the ball. So I think to myself, okay, if I'm going to bet San Diego State at home to beat Boise State, and they have defeated Boise State with a higher frequency than I believe any other Mountain West team. Isn't the Boise State's all-time winning percentage versus San Diego State the lowest against any other Mountain West opponent? I think it's 500.
I think it's 500 if I don't.
Or they're up one game on
the only non-winning game Mountain West team, I believe.
Yeah. So you're going to tell me, you're going to convince me to put $100 on San Diego State with the way they've looked, and they've had a tough schedule too, man. Really tough schedule. I'm probably going to need at least a touchdown, maybe a little more, to feel comfortable about taking San Diego State with that offense. And Boise State, like it or not, they still carry somewhat of a national reputation with them in the polls, in the point spread. So I think that's probably pretty fair. And that's going to be a tough spread to cover. I think they can do it, but I don't see this game getting out of hand. Both these teams want to play good defense. Yep. So we'll see, man. But I would think 8.5 probably pretty fair right now. I'd probably stay away from this game, to be honest. I don't think I'd touch it.
Hey, Ball Ventures, Alquist, BVA, Idaho's developer, one of our sponsors here at Bronco Nation News, Idaho's premier real estate development company. If you need a developer looking for new space, keep our friends at BVA in mind. Obviously, get out and check out Topgolf there at the Eagle View Landing. And we'll be telling you more about an exciting live broadcast we have coming up at Topgolf here in a couple of weeks. Maybe we need John Mallory back out there in flip-flops taking some hits off the tee box there to see if we can get the viewership up at Topgolf. We'll check it out. But thanks to BVA, our friends at Taco Bell, they're supporting Boise State student-athlete scholarships with more than $300,000 committed over the next several years. And we've got exciting news. The pregame show for the San Jose State game, Johnny, is going to be at Taco Bell on Broadway. Looking forward to getting out there. We'll be at the Taco Bell on Broadway. Come hang out. Come say hello. We're passing out free tacos. A lot of cool stuff happening October 7th, I believe it is, for the San Jose State game. We'll tell you more about it. Check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. Hey, if you need a job, check out Transportation Compliance Service. They can help you every step of the way to get into the trucking industry, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood. If you want to get out there and get into the delivery driving service industry, it's booming right now with the pandemic. Check it out at TCSTransCompService.com. And if you need business insurance, check out United Commercial Insurance. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Make sure you check them out. United Commercial Insurance, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Bronco Nation News is a client of theirs, just added some insurance, and we're appreciative of them. So check them out at our friends over at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. All right, Johnny, a couple good individual performances from that game. Couple guys continue to struggle a little bit in that game. The good, a guy like Ty Benefield continuing to step up as a true freshman. Breezy Dubar rushing for a team-high 62 yards. I think he continues to look good. On the other side, some guys like Keanohi Kaniho, Billy Bowens continue to struggle a little bit, and I know are getting some of the bullseyes from the fans in terms of those that are unhappy. But individuals, good, bad, wherever you want to go with it. What stood out to you from some individual performances against North Dakota?
Marco Notriani again, and it feels like he's this year's DJ Schramm. BJ, I called you DJ. He has a scary frame, Notriani. He's 6'3" and long at I think he's 220, 225. I mean, there was another linebacker. He's playing in the NFL right now. Came out of nowhere here. He was 6'3", 6'4", about 225, 230 when he played here. Now he's like 6'4", 245. I think you guys all know who I'm talking about. That kid up in Riggins. And frame-wise, Notriani's the closest linebacker I've seen at Boise State who's had that. Now, that's just one thing, obviously, right? A physical frame. You need to still build more on that. You need to get smart up here. You need to stay healthy. There are a million other things that need to go in that crock pot of success. But Notriani, here we go. I liked what I saw. Again, guy makes plays. That's what this defense needs. Give me a strip sack. Let's Simpson pick that sucker up. Probably should have taken it to the house. Those big splash plays, I think, are what we need. And I love the Kaniho kid. I'm a big Kaniho fan. I'm buddies with his older brother. A lot of us in the media are after he left. He's still around. He shows up at events. And I really like talking to Kala Kaniho, his older brother, and know he right now it's tough because every team is watching the tape and they're looking at this and they're saying, let's go after 14. And it's like he can't catch a break on that. And teams are throwing some of their best schemes at him because it's working. So I don't know what Spencer Danielson and Kane Ione are going to do there, if they need another player in there or not. It's not like they can just, pluck another corner off of a tree like it's a piece of fruit or something, right? I mean, you got to nourish it. You got to let it grow. The guys behind him might not be ready. So, but Kaniho, I'm not going to cover for him, and I don't think he would want me to. He's struggling. He's got to get that thing going. Billy Bowens, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if maybe Billy Bowens is playing a role with this team that maybe he shouldn't. And I think they're going to look at this too. I mean, they see the numbers. They see the fact that when Billy Bowens gets targeted, it feels like nothing good happens. Whether it's no lack of separation or a drop or a catch with no yak. I don't know, man. And maybe Prince just isn't ready for the entire playbook. But like Coach Sanford said last week on Ball Talk, the kid knows how to run a go route. Okay. He had a big splash play in Saturday's game. I expect that to continue. A couple of those guys right there, BJ. So Hopefully Kaniho can play better. He's had moments, BJ. He hasn't been picked on like this his whole career. This wasn't a thing coming in. It's just it's tough going. It's like once you get beat a few times and it's on tape, everybody's going to watch it and everybody's going to go after you. And Kaniho, hasn't found out a good way to stop it yet. Talk about a guy who needs a 2 interception game to know Kaniho, man.
No doubt about it. Hey, if you're looking for some healthy eating, check out our friends over at Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Healthy eating, meal prep service. You can get 1 meal, you can get 10. They're good in the microwave up to 5 days. You can go in, check them out, and it's fully customizable. You pick the amount of protein, amount of carb, amount of veggie you want. They've customized the meal for you. You pay by the ounce. It's awesome. Love it. And if you don't want to go in there, they'll deliver it to you as well. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Hey, if you need a dentist, check out Boise Dentistry Co. Our friends over there, Dr. Chris Miner, to do a tremendous job. Full family dentistry. They make it a fun, enjoyable experience at the dentist. So check them out. 5 locations across the Treasure Valley, BoiseDentistryCo.com. And of course, the Blue and Orange Store. They helped bring Mike Prater on board as our columnist. Make sure you support them. Thank them. The BlueandOrangeStore.com. Free shipping any order over $40. Or you can go right there to the Boise Town Square Mall on the 2nd floor. All the new coaches' sideline apparel, all the new Nike gear, the throwbacks. Check them out at the BlueandOrangeStore.com. Johnny, by the way, we will find out the Memphis game time today. We're scheduled to find out the Memphis game time today. This guy, Matt Zarniak, he's kind of a dude that kind of just predicts and blogs about this and spends a lot of attention and knows all the TV windows and all that. And he's not always right, but he usually has a pretty good idea on things. He predicts. He did a blog yesterday predicting the game times for today, and he's got it as a noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain Time kick on ESPN2 for Boise State and Memphis. So we'll find out if that's the case or not. But would you be? Is it a little easier on the road to do the 10 a.m. games probably for fans?
I think so. For fans, no question. You have people come over, you do the whole breakfast bar or whatever, you hang out there. I would imagine. So I think this whole town won this weekend on Saturday, though, with that 10 a.m. game. If I'm Jeremiah Dickey, I'm thinking if we could have one 10 a.m. home game a year, that would be terrific. Heck, make it against the FCS team if you're worried about other things, because it was an absolutely gorgeous day, BJ. Everybody was done and home by Saturday afternoon. It felt like you had a full weekend.
Big crowd came too, over 35,000.
The crowd was, the crowd was sensational, BJ. The students, wow, I guess kids get up earlier this generation than previous ones, dude. And they stayed, and it was glorious. And it felt like it was just one big football festival at Albertson Stadium on Saturday. The parking lot, I walked through. I park in the Lincoln garage and I do a walk there, and I try to walk through the parking lot. I smelled pork. I smelled sausage, bacon. I was like, oh, this is a cool smell. I bet a lot of other schools who open, early in the morning, you hear that too, or you smell that as well. And I loved it, man. I thought that was a really cool environment. Sign me up for Saturday mornings on the Blue. Just about one a year, though.
10 a.m. kickoffs are the best. I used to love waiting for BSU games. These days, I just want to get them over with. Bill says I wish every game was at 10. I do think the road games are a little easier. You're not having to worry about tailgating or anything. You just roll out of bed, flip on the TV, 10 o'clock. You're good to go. Johnny, we got obviously the Idaho Sports Talk 3 to 6 today. What do we got coming up on today's show?
Yep, we love our Mondays. We talk with Andy Avalos, Spencer Danielson, Bush Hamden. Kind of pick the pieces and figure out what they're talking about on their Monday press conference. I know that starts here in a couple of hours. BJ, weekend winners and losers, what's going on in Boulder, all that good stuff. College football, NFL stuff. Khalil Shakir scored his first NFL touchdown yesterday for the Buffalo Bills. John Bates had some really nice plays for your Washington Commanders, BJ. And
career high in receiving yards.
Yeah, it was a really good day for a couple of those Broncos. Cedric Wilson still mysteriously inactive for 2 straight games on a healthy scratch. BJ, they're paying him like $10 million to not dress him. I'm wondering what's going on in South Beach there. So, lots to get to, obviously, on Idaho Sports Talk. It's a weird week because they play on Friday night. Boise State does. we're doing our show on Friday, 3 to 6. It'll be kind of like a de facto IST slash pregame show. You're still coming on your Friday hit on IST. That'll be weird. It'll be a couple hours from kickoff. You'll be, for the first time ever, BJ Rains at Snapdragon Stadium, ready to cover a Boise State football game. Lots to get to this week, man. It's going to be fun.
And that includes ball talk tonight, man. Looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. I already got my questions down. Sanford's going to have a field day with some of these. I'm going to ask him, setting him up for these home run hits, BJ. And this will be episode 6. That's crazy, man. Right?
Yeah, it is. Every Monday, so that'll be tonight at 8 o'clock. We're talking Boise State. They're talking Colorado, Mountain West. If you're a college football fan and you also like Boise State, you want to check out Ball Talk, Sanford and Johnny tonight at 8 o'clock on the Bronco Nation News social media channels. We're looking forward to that tonight at 8 o'clock with Coach Mike Sanford. Johnny, appreciate your time as always. Thanks to John Patrick for helping get us on the air. And we'll be listening 3 to 6 today. We're also talking, because of the short week, Johnny, after the coaching staff, we get a couple players today as well. So we'll have players and coaches' reactions from the North Dakota game as they look ahead to San Diego State on Friday. Conference play opening up for the Broncos. Have you covered all week long. Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK, Bronco Nation News, and our partnership. So check it out. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today. Jay Test and I will be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And, of course, Ball Talk, Johnny and Sanford tonight at 8 o'clock. Have a good Monday. Make it a great one. We'll be talking to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, bronconationnews.com.